Madame Hélène has confirmed the surprise appearance of her husband during the intermission of her show. And as expected, Monsieur Hastings, there is something troubling you?
If I may speak freely.
You do not have to ask my permission.
This is all very overwhelming. We seem...
I can understand your confusion, but you cannot...
Easier said than done.
Oui, monsieur?
Must you be so hard on her?
I presume you refer to Madame...
You talk about emotions not taking charge.
She is a suspect in a murder investigation, not a guest at afternoon tea. If Mademoiselle Farquhar is more important than discovering the truth...
I would have thought you would know better of me by now. I'm sorry, but I don't agree.
When it is your investigation, you will have the authority. Until then, I will continue in a manner that has and continues to bring criminals to...
And I'll just keep my opinions to myself.
Let us focus on the case. What do we know about Mademoiselle Warbeck's relationship with the deceased?
Mr. Christensen suggested she had romantic feelings towards Irene, but
She cleaned the master key to hide Mademoiselle Gott-Smythe's action.
You think she could have killed her to stop the truth coming...
Which would in turn ruin her career. Your Grace.
Detective Poirot, good morning. Can I assume...
London is a very large city. I would fathom a guess that there is more than...
Your confidence astounds me. Look, I'm meeting the young Russian girl here. God teaches us to forgive and love thy neighbor.
Has she offended you personally?
Using the museum for her sordid meat.
She doesn't strike me as someone that would be caught up in that sort of thing.
And what sort?
Well,
Exactly. I walked in on them in the restoration room a couple of weeks ago. I opened the door and saw...
You are not aware of what they were meeting?
Do you need to wash your ears out? I just told you what they were up to. And when she saw me, they stopped talking immediately.
Merci. Mademoiselle Warbeck, if you have a moment.
I'm actually rather busy.
I would have thought recovering your painting and identity...
Is it necessary?
You do not wish to impede my investigation?
No, but
It is important.
Honorable?
I get the sense you two spend your time butting faces.
Butting head.
Oui, butting heads.
It would be easier to say what we do. I don't... Usually after an exhibition, the artist's work would be returned to them.
But on this occasion, that is not an option.
I still have every intention of going ahead with the exhibit that includes her work, even if the trustees are against it. I'm still the curator of this museum. I'm hanging her work...
I recall Mademoiselle Gott-Smythe referred to the exhibit as hers. The level of arrogance and hypocrisy.
You have been most helpful.
Ah. Aha. Mm-hmm. Huh. Ah. Huh. Aha. Huh. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Order and method. Is there something? Come, my little Grace Alice. I should consider... Magnifique. Logical thinking shall always...
Go right ahead, Detective.
You have been most...
Ah.
Go on, then. You make it sound as though it is I that...
Forgive me, have I misinterpreted?
If you cannot even understand what I have to say...
That is perhaps a matter best discussed at a later time. What I wish to know now...
There is no need to lose...
Your Grace.
A lesson for another time. Let's just say that I...
Merci, Your Grace.
Go right ahead, Detective.
You have been most...
Bishop Mountjoy was quite adamant Mademoiselle Warbeck's meeting was something untoward. Although I believe anything she does, to have a young woman undermine him in front of the other trustees. He allows his personal feelings to accentuate his cynical side. Mademoiselle Warbeck was doing nothing.
Go right ahead, Detective. I wonder who you've been talking to. What did he tell you? That I've been up to no good?
Not in so many words.
I was meeting with artists for a new exhibition. He has no idea what he is talking about when it comes... He can't see the future. The new way...
As well as the uncouth gentleman you met.
Uncouth? Anyone not wearing full priest robes, I would... Well, considering he didn't want her work anywhere near the museum, I wouldn't have said they had one at all. Then the next thing I heard was that he had commissioned her to do some pieces for his church. I didn't...
Do you know what he had commissioned her to paint?
No idea, I'm afraid. She was sworn to secrecy.
You have been most helpful.
Go on, then. You'll have to be more...
The paintings produced by Mademoiselle Court-Smiles.
Oh, yes. Well, I thought it was necessary if she was to feature in the museum.
You couldn't just use her other pieces as reference?
I suppose I could have. It is not as though I kept it anyway. I wasn't happy with it clogging up my bin, let alone my
Merci.
Ah. Huh. Huh. Aha. Aha. Oh. Hmm. Huh. Oh. Oh. Aha. Oh. Huh. Hmm.
Come now. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps... Voila. The pieces of the puzzle are hot on the culprit's heels.
It appears that the good bishop has been replacing the church's original artworks with... He commissioned her to make these forgeries so that...
Disappearing where, though?
Why else? Mademoiselle Babagnan appears to have been right about the bishop's... Now, Hastings, we must ask her, where might Bishop Mountjoy be hiding the original... We must gain access to the space...
Ah. Aha. Huh. Ah. Huh. Oh. Oh. Huh. Aha. Huh.
Why don't you have a look first?
Do not tell me you are a...
Not the dark, just... Poirot, where are we?
If I am not mistaken, this is part of the secret tunnels that were built hundreds of years ago to sneak those that did not agree with the powers of the country out.
And why exactly are we in here?
The why must never be obvious.
Right.
Ah.
We have our third forgery. There is evidence of a much more modern painting on the back of the canvas.
Thank goodness. Don't know how I would explain finding the original in such a state.
Bishop Mountjoy must have discovered the painting that he received from Mademoiselle
And lashed out. Now he's been using this room to store his own private art collection. I can picture him...
What I find most
is that not only does he deprive the world of beauty and joy from seeing these works, but he's even having to light his candle clock to keep from drifting off down here.
One's opinions...
I was only voicing my...
You have thoughts beside those of Mademoiselle?
Really, Poirot? You still think so?
When one exclaims such regard for a suspect in a murder investigation, it is hard not to think any other way.
You may not be so accustomed to the idea of showing, or at least having some...
There is a difference between empathy...
And there is a difference between commenting and being rude and...
I was not expecting Monsieur Hastings to be so sensitive on the matter. Perhaps this conversation...
What was that? Oh, just the bishop's candle clock. I don't know about you, but I've had enough of this place. What are you doing?
S'il vous plaît, un moment.
The bishop's candle clock has forced me to question everything of the murder scene that I previously...
We must return to Mademoiselle Court Smythe's apartment.
Perhaps that is a job best left for you. Bye.
Oh. Aha. Oh. Ah. Oh. Huh.
Et maintenant?
Oh.
I believed myself to be the greatest detective in the most prestigious police force in the world. But I have been duped and swindled, falling directly into the trap, and now I stand here alone. Monsieur Hastings was quick to make his excuses to retire to his abode and not return. I hope there is not something further that troubles him. What sacré! I have spent my time staring into the sun when deceit and a murderer remains free. But the truth of the fire eludes detective.